afternoon, Mark.
Hey, what's up?
After after needing to work through some things offensively, how good did it feel, or how cathartic was it to have that sort of performance, and how does that kind of set the stage to end this season going into the postseason?
It was cool, like Jake just said at the end of practice today. A lot of people's season is ending. Ours is just beginning. So, you want to hit that stride at the perfect time, and I think last week was the perfect time for our offense to exhibit what we put on display. So it was pretty cool.
Last week, in most interviews, you talked about wanting the ball, wanting to be more involved. You said that with us, you said on the radio. And Sunday, you were involved. Was it that simple, or was that part of the game plan? You talk about how that worked. They got you more involved.
Yeah, I definitely saw the ball more than I've been seeing it. But it's all just me wanting to help the team. I know how special of a team that we have, and I know how special of a moment this is. And I've been in the league long enough to know how fleeting it is as well. And so I think, I know that was just me wanting to make sure that we take full advantage of this moment, and I know I feel like I'm a huge part of that, and I don't want it to just come and go without us reaching our full potential. So, that's why I felt the urge and the need to ask for the ball more.
Did you express that to the coaches and as well? You talked to Kellen Moore, your receiver coach, about that?
I have, but I wasn't, just blunt with it, because I've never done that before. Like I said, I've never been on a team like this, and I've been in the league. This is my 7th year, so I know how rare it is, and that's why I really felt the need to say that, because, like I just said, I don't want it to come and go without us reaching our full potential. So.
Amari, we talked a lot about tempo. Zeke was saying that one of the reasons it could be helpful this week is to vanilla out the schemes that Arizona's showing. How much do you think about that, and what's the biggest challenge that this Arizona defense presents?
Yeah, I think about that a lot. I've noticed even last week when we weren't playing fast, we weren't as productive. But when we started speeding things up, we were extremely productive, and those guys were tired. Like I said before, I heard one of the guys. Well, he told me, like, to my face, like, man, y'all need to slow this down. I'm tired. Like, that's what he told me. And so I know how effective it is. And with Arizona having such a good defense, great players, we would have to see how conditioned they are. So, I think it's something that could be very effective against them as well, because they do have a lot of different things they like to get to on defense. But when you hurry up, it doesn't really allow for them to get to it.
If you were offensive coordinator for this week, are you putting in hurry up all the time, or when should you not be doing it?
That's a good question. I feel like if you get to it and it's not really working, then you might want to slow things down. But other than that, I think it's a very effective thing for an offense to do. It's just a matter of if it's working or not,
Amari, when you look at Coach McCarthy's background, he's won a Super Bowl, he's been to 4 NFC title games, he's been in all these playoff games. How much confidence can you guys draw off his background when you hit the postseason?
Yeah, when you're consistently winning, it's not a fluke. There's definitely a method to being successful at anything. And so we could draw a lot from that. We have a supreme confidence in him because just from my perspective, I look at him as a winner. Everything he does is so that we can win. That's what I see. So.
And how much has he, 17-game season, 18-week season, and been mindful of you guys being ready at this time of the year, being at your healthiest, and making sure everybody's ready now and not wearing you out through the course of the year?
Yeah, he harps on that. You got to think he's in it for the long haul. There's been coaches who've coached for 20, 30 years who haven't been to a Super Bowl or who haven't been to an NFC championship. So they wouldn't quite know as well as he knows how to protect their players for the long haul as far as our health is concerned. But like you said before, he's experienced. He's won a Super Bowl. He's been to, you said, 3 NFC championships. So he understands.
As a veteran player, you've been around a little bit. Do you feel like teams' windows are very small to achieve your ultimate goals?
From my experience, for sure, and then from my perspective, for sure, from what I see, because players come and go. I think we have a whole bunch of talent on this team. It's not just about talent; it's about that combination of talent, coaching, culture, work ethic of the team. And so you might have the talent but not have the other things, or you might have a good culture but not have the other things. So I think we have it all right now. And from what I've seen, it's very rare to have it all. Because, like I said before, players come and go, coaches come and go, leaders come and go. So, I think it's fleeting for sure.
You got so many different guys who scored for you. Who do you think is next to get a touchdown on your team?
I guess we'll have to wait and see. But it can literally be anybody who scores that next touchdown. And that's the great thing about our team. That's the great thing about our offense. That's the great thing about our defense. The great thing about our special teams. You had Corey Clemens block a punt, made a huge play in the game for us. You saw what Malik did on offense last week. You saw what D-Law did on defense. I mean, it could be anybody. So, we'll have to wait and see.
This is going back a little bit of a ways, but on the final practice of training camp last year, Trayvon had 4 interceptions in one practice. I believe, like McCarthy said, do you remember that practice? Is that count correct?
Nah, he had more than 4. He had about 5 or 6. Yeah, I remember that practice. I wasn't practicing that day, but I saw it. But I've been knew he was special before that, because you could just tell when you line it up in front of a guy. But when I saw that, I was like, yeah, he's different. He's a special talent. He has really good ball skills, really good coverage skills, really great instincts. He's just you can tell he's one of those guys who's been playing football for a very long time, and not just organized football. He has instincts. To where he's been playing, football with his brothers, because all his brothers play like that. So, he's just a rare talent.
This will be the Cardinals are the 3rd playoff team you guys have faced this year. Tampa Bay, Kansas City being the other teams that have clinched playoff berths. How do you characterize this game for you guys in terms of importance, given that?
I don't think one has anything to do with the other. Like, playing one playoff team versus another, because every team is different. Every team has different schemes, different players. There's not a player on Kansas City or Tampa Bay who's on the Arizona Cardinals. You know what I mean? He's not a coach that's on those other two teams that's on the Arizona Cardinals. So I wouldn't really compare it like that. But I would say it's another good team. And it's a great opportunity for us.
Amari, there's been a lot of talk about how much better the offense has been at home. Kellen on Monday had talked about how AT&T is a really fast playing surface and that you guys are able to play faster there. Do you think that's any sort of a factor in you guys playing better there? Is that a surface that you guys find is faster than other places?
If I had to say it was a different environment that leads to us playing better, I would just say, it's just comfort, we play there half the games of the season, so we're comfortable there. And anytime a human being is comfortable, it's just a better setting for them to get things done, if anything. But it shouldn't be that way for us, because it shouldn't matter the environment. We just go out there. You can roll the ball out there on the field, and we should just be able to play and dominate. Those are our goals.
Amari, we're not able to be out there. What's it been like behind the scenes in the locker room at practice, et cetera, during practice and just this week with what's coming up? Have you guys been any different? Is it the same as it's been all season, or is there, any more maybe being focused or anything like that?
Nah, I don't sense anything different going on. I think we've mentioned a couple times that it really doesn't matter who we play. It doesn't matter who we play. We got to go out there and play our best football. Period. As long as we put together a great game plan and we go out there and execute that game plan, we feel like it doesn't matter who lines up in front of us.
We have time for one more, and it's going to be Jeff.
Hey, Amari, Jack was pretty frank, during the game, a few games leading up to last week about his frustrations with the offensive slump. I'm just curious, what did you see from him after last week? Was it like a weight off his shoulders kind of a deal?
No, I didn't really see that. I mean, we preach that neutral mindset. I think Dak understands what our expectations are as an offense. And listen, if you ask Dak, his expectations are even bigger than our expectations, our goals that we set as an offense, because that's just the type of player he is. So Dak is just, from my perspective, he's all about playing to his standards, and I would say he definitely did that last week, but I didn't necessarily see a shift in his emotions or anything after playing that way. No.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks, Mark.